No, this is not anywhere up north. Fort Worth, Texas. A live look there where folks in the south are suffering through a lot of snow. More than 1,000 flights have been canceled so far today in trouble areas from New Mexico to New England. Now, we did just check the Valley airports. So far, all the flights to and from Fargo and Grand Forks are running on time, but you might want to call ahead. Quite the mess down there. A winter storm once again pounding areas in the southern United States. A very good Thursday morning, everyone, and thank you so much for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Kyle Bosch. Lisa has the morning off. We're just getting started with non-stop news and weather all the way up to the top of the hour to help you plan your day. We do start with some new information for you this morning about two separate car crashes in Moorhead involving the same vehicle. In the end, 3 people were arrested, and a Clay County deputy ended up in the hospital after being punched several times by one of the people involved. Police say the driver of this van was first involved in a crash on 3rd Street and 1st Avenue North. It drove off, then crashed into another car about 5 blocks away on 8th Street after running through a red light. The driver of the van, 37-year-old Galen Littlewind of Fargo, was arrested on numerous charges, including DWI involving child endangerment, driving after revocation, leaving the scene of a crash, and disobeying a stoplight. Now, police say 2 people in the van also tried to interfere with Littlewind's arrest. One of them had to be tasered after repeatedly punching the deputy. We have their pictures up on the screen right now. Mohammed Nakalai and Faruku Lutwama are in custody for obstructing the legal process. Lutwama is facing a charge of assault on a peace officer. Now, that Clay County deputy who was attacked was treated and released from the hospital. We've got an update for you this morning on a story that we broke for you yesterday right here on the Valley today. A man has died after he and his grandson plunged through the ice on a lake near Alexandria, Minnesota. Sheriff's deputies were called out early yesterday morning after 50-year-old James Minerath and his 2-year-old grandson failed to return home from an outing. Eventually, the Douglas County dive team found both victims submerged in the water. Minerath died after being airlifted to a Twin Cities hospital. His grandson was also taken to a Twin Cities hospital. The boy is listed in critical condition this morning. 6:51, time for weather and traffic on the one, starting with meteorologist Nick Kerr.
Thank you, Kyle. And we begin with some sub-zero air, and won't be too long. We'll be closer to zero, warming nicely to about 10 to 15 in eastern North Dakota by noon, and about 8 to 10 across northern Minnesota. Going to be chilly much of the day for northern Minnesota, even though the temperatures will get as far above zero as you are below zero this morning. And these are afternoon highs today, will be overnight lows tomorrow morning. So it's certainly something to look forward to. But all the while today and tonight and even tomorrow, we will have winds that'll gust to maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour. Today, gusting to about 25. And this evening, should be a rather pleasant evening if you're outdoors, if you are prepared with some covering the skin. South 18, gusting to about 25 to 30. So wind chills all through the afternoon and evening, even though we're going to about 20 above in eastern North Dakota. Closer to 10 to 12 in a lot of western Minnesota. The Arctic air is moving southward, so west central and central Minnesota might be the coldest areas today. Thief River at 8 above, Badette and Warroad and Roseau about 12. And the northeast corner of North Dakota, 13 for Cavalier, Grafton, and Mackville, 19, 15, 16 along Highway 200 here this afternoon. All under a mostly clear sky this morning. Big storm affecting airline travel and traffic from Dallas all the way through D.C. to New York and Boston. On our morning temperatures, again, 13 below in Detroit Lakes, 15 below Fergus Falls and Thief River, 13 below Grand Forks, 8 below right now in Fargo. Let's check Valley Today traffic now with Al Ahmet. Good morning, Al.
Good morning to you, Mick. We have some, I would call it fairly major congestion this morning right around the tri-level northbound on Interstate 29. And it's particularly the case between the tri-level and 13th Avenue South. It thins out a bit at Main Avenue, but boy, I tell you what, you're going to want to watch it out there and make sure that you have all your driving skills in place because you're going to need them to merge in and out of traffic. Traffic on Interstate 94 this morning, fairly thick as well, but nothing like it is on Interstate 29 northbound. Make sure that you're driving extra carefully this morning. Road services dry, travel speeds 60, 65, maybe even a little bit faster than that. On I-29, Northbound in Fargo, Willamette Valley today traffic.
Some parents are concerned over changes to Fargo's school boundaries and how they would impact middle and high school students on north and south sides. Dana Nowacki is one of them. She says the board is not listening to her or others and that the changes will create headaches for her and other families. She says under the changes, her two boys will have to be bused across town instead of going to a school that's just 6 blocks from their home. Nowacki believes that there are other options.
If you're anticipating an overcrowding in 5 years, that gives you enough time to add on to probably 1 or 2 different schools.
Now, there are a series of forums scheduled for parents to ask questions and raise any concerns that they have. They're scheduled from 6 to 7 p.m. The first 2 are next week, one Wednesday at Clara Barton, the other Thursday at Jefferson Elementary, and the third will be Wednesday, March 18th at Centennial. Kind of a frightening day for parents and kids near a Fargo bus stop yesterday. Parents called police saying that a man was exposing himself to kids living in the Buena Vista trailer park. It happened about 4 yesterday afternoon on San Juan Drive in Fargo near 45th Street. Police say they have not made any arrests yet. It is still being investigated. Firefighters are trying to figure out the cause of a house fire in Barnesville that forced a man to his roof to wait for a rescue. Firefighters were able to quickly put out the flames, which were coming from the basement. The man wasn't hurt, but there is fire, smoke, and water damage to much of that house. Police in Valley City say they have now arrested 2 people suspected of robbing a Valley City man who was trying to buy an Xbox through a Facebook trade group. Andrew Adams was arrested Tuesday. Jennifer Schultz turned herself in yesterday. They're facing robbery charges. Now, a friend of the person who was allegedly robbed is also charged in this case. Jeffrey Hoganson is facing reckless endangerment and criminal mischief after police say he chased the suspects down and rear-ended their car several times. The wife of a man shot by police in Grand Forks last weekend has confirmed to Valley News Live she is talking to a lawyer about a possible lawsuit. David Elliott was shot in the parking lot of All True Hospital early Saturday morning after leading police on a high-speed chase. Police say he was shot after he rammed a police vehicle. Now, the UND officer who shot Elliott has now been identified as Jared Broughton. He's on paid administrative leave during the investigation. 3 city police officers are also on leave. A Minnesota House committee will be revisiting a century-old state law that forbids the sale of liquor at bars and restaurants before 10 a.m. on Sunday. The bill being looked at would move that Sunday start time to 8 a.m. Of course, liquor bills always popular at the state capitol in St. Paul. The other one getting a lot of attention this and every year is a major push once again to try and repeal the 80-year-old Minnesota law forbidding liquor stores from opening on Sundays. Today marks the 50th anniversary of the Red River Valley Sportsman Show. 200 exhibits are all set up at the Fargo Dome as doors get ready to open up later tonight. The Valley Today's Christy Larson is already live at the Dome this morning with a little sneak peek on just some of the things you can find this year. Christy?
Yes, good morning, Kyle. As you saw earlier this morning, we were near RVs. We were up near where they're going to have some animals on display, and now we're back down on the showroom floor with Barry, who is the manager of the show. And I know now we're sitting in a pontoon, and it's just been a whole morning of fun, and that's what people are going to get this weekend.
Absolutely. You know, one of the great things about the show is, you know, we had a boat show a little more than a month ago, and a lot of the dealers are back here, so all the great factory discounts are still in effect. And if you like boats, docks, RVs, or campers, they're all down here at the Sportsman Show.
And also, I know that you guys are going to have a lot of great seminars, too, that people will want to come and check out.
Absolutely. Free hunting and fishing seminars all weekend long. And if people go to fargosportshow.com, they see the seminar speakers, the topics, and you can really plan your trip around your favorite seminar.
And I know that we showed some of the fun for kids. Like I mentioned, they're going to have some of those animals like the little wolf pup, the raccoon, and the big wolves on display as well. It's going to be fun for the whole family to come here. Again, Kyle, it all kicks off tonight at 5 o'clock, $250 for kids ages 6 to 12, $750 for adults. So you're not going to want to miss it this year.
Again, reporting live from the Dome for us this morning. Lots of fun, as always, at the Sportsman Show. Thanks, Christy. In our Healthier Me this morning, if you need a little inspiration to keep going on the treadmill that you're working out on, hopefully right now, or maybe a little bit later today, a new study suggests that staying fit during middle age could be a big brain benefit later in life. Researchers measured the fitness level of more than 1,200 middle-aged adults. then followed up 20 years later with brain imaging and cognitive testing. They found that people who had a lower fitness level in their 40s had smaller brain tissue volume in their 60s and performed more poorly on tests measuring the ability to make decisions. Experts say that many people don't worry about their brain health until later in life, but should be focused on it earlier. So go ahead and get a little walk in today, or maybe this weekend when it warms up a little bit. All right, let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook this morning. If you could travel back in time, 16% of adults say that they would do this. And the answer, learn to play a musical instrument. I think I agree with that. I did for a while. I played saxophone like 5th and 6th grade, but then kind of dropped it. But I wish I would have done that when you were a kid.
Yeah, I mean, because President of the United States, Bill Clinton, he became famous for his saxophone skills. You carry that into your adult life?
Now it seems a little too hard and too late.
I don't know.
Tough to teach an old dog like me new tricks.
Well, you're in the 84% majority, obviously. All right, let's check our wind chills, which begin at 25 below in Fargo, 30 below Valley City, 32 below Thief River, and up in the Red Lake and Lake of the Woods area. Starting below zero, high today of 15 to 20.
Stay bundled up. Got that warm up on the way. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.